Chance and his girlfriend Alyssa are currently expecting a baby boy. They just announced that they found out it's a boy just a few weeks ago. They plan on naming him Liam, but Chance just shared some unfortunate news. Recently, Alyssa went to the doctor. While they're there, they're doing the ultrasound where they look at all the body parts, measure the body parts, and make sure everything's growing right. And while they were doing that, they found out that their son has a birth defect called spina bifida. I hope I'm saying that correct. But I guess this happens in 1 in every 2,000 births. Spina bifida is a birth defect that occurs when the spine and the spinal cord don't develop properly during pregnancy. So during the first month of pregnancy, the neural tube forms, which eventually becomes the brain and the spinal cord. But in spina bifida, the neural tube doesn't close completely and it leaves a gap in the spine, as we see pictured here. And then in that gap, you'll have all this spinal cord fluid build up, and it's just not good for the baby all around. And it can cause weakness in the legs, it can cause bowel inconsistencies, it can cause birthmarks, build up as spinal cord tissue. They're being told that he's likely going to have to be in a wheelchair all his life, and he is going to need help all his life and a lot of support. So Alyssa went and started a GoFundMe, and they're currently trying to raise $10,000. I'll leave the GoFundMe linked in the description. And so far they've received one donation of $20, and she said, "My name is Alyssa and my fiance's name is Chance." I didn't know they got engaged. That's some tea. And she said, "Our little miracle baby's name is Liam. We have our first baby together on the way, and we have been so excited and happy until we got some absolutely horrible news yesterday. We found out that our poor baby boy has the most severe case of spina bifida, which is higher up on his back under his neck." Oh, and that's another thing I was told. Instead of it being like on his lower back where it is like in those pictures, it's actually right in between like his shoulder blades and neck, which is going to cause even more problems for him with it being that close to his head. And then it says, "My doctor told me he's only seen one other case this bad in his 10 years of work. With our baby boy Liam having this condition, it's unlikely he'll be able to walk or use his arms, and most likely will have bowel and urine inconsistencies. He also has a reverse blood flow to his aorta. I opted in to have utero surgery on Liam while still in the womb. They told me that they'll do a cut along my stomach and then cut open my uterus and turn Liam where they can get to his back and get all the spinal fluid out of the sac, which is quite large. This case is called," and I'm not even going to try to say that, and she said, "My doctor is sending me to a major doctor in my state where I will continue care for the remainder of my pregnancy and after he's born. I need help with medical expenses to help our boy Liam have these better chances at a normal life or progression. I have another option of Liam having surgery after I give birth, but it's not as good as doing it while he's still in the womb where he can heal inside with amniotic fluid. Please help me give baby Liam a better chance to walk and recover from this. We have been torn apart and found all this out during New Year's Day. I'm due April 29th of 2025. So that's just really sad that they're going to have to deal with this. And I have talked to Chance, and he said that it is completely out of the question. They're not considering getting an abortion. They said it's going to be a long, hard road, but they're willing to accept whatever challenges are ahead of them. And I was doing some research into this, and this whole having surgeries on the mothers while they're pregnant with babies with spina bifida, this is completely new. The first baby that was operated on while I was inside its mother's stomach with this whole birth defect, this first operation happened just a few years ago, and they've done hundreds of surgeries since then. But the whole surgery while in the womb concept is relatively new when it comes to spina bifida, but I guess it can really help. And the kids that are able to have surgery while in the womb, it doubles their chances of being able to walk once they are born, and it significantly decreases her chances of having to have a shunt, which is a thing that they have to put in to relieve fluid from the brain, which Chance and Alyssa's child likely would have to have that, because the closer it is to their head, and if it's like above their shoulders, the more likely they are to have one of those, because it's going to have even more fluid buildup. And they said that his is right at the top of his head, which is one of the worst spots. So this surgery would significantly decrease that. And this talks about another baby, and talking about him possibly having the surgery and saying if he's left untreated, then he could be born with no skin covering his spinal cord, nerves, muscles, or bone in the area of his back. And without the in utero procedure, he also would have had a small sac containing his spinal cord and nerves projecting out of his lower back. And that's what we were just talking about, the schnuck or stuck or however the heck you say it, that you're less likely to have one of those if you had the procedure while you're still in the womb. Babies born with this condition can have swelling in the brain that can lead to diminished neurocognitive function and future brain surgery due to swelling in the brain. And I was looking it up on Google, and it says that about 90% of people that have this condition, they will live well into adulthood, but they just may not be able to do everything that a normal person would be able to do. Like they may need to have a wheelchair to get around, or they may have to walk with braces, crutches, a walker. And people with a level of spina bifida higher on their spine near their head, which is exactly where Alyssa and Chance's son's spina bifida is, they are likely to be paralyzed in their legs and have to use wheelchairs. And that's something that they were told already by the doctor. Honestly shocked that I don't know anyone else that has this, since it happens to 1 out of every 2,000 births. But there were people commenting on his Facebook post saying they knew people or had cousins that experienced this. And for the most part, outside of having to be in a wheelchair, it seems like they lived a long life. One lady said that her cousin lived up into his 50s. Hopefully she's able to get this surgery so she can give birth to this baby and hopefully have as little complications as possible. A lot of people were asking, what is this money needed for if Alyssa has insurance? And Chance said, yes, I just want to be prepared in case insurance denies the procedure. It's an uncommon procedure, and even if they do cover it, there's co-pays and or deductibles with her insurance, then medicine. And then Liam is going to have to need a wheelchair likely. But that is it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.